It's live, pal. Sorry for the delay. What's going on, everyone in chat? Who's this here? Joseph Pantalon. Rogue One, A Star Wars Story, A New Hope. I guess he's going back in order. A New Hope, then Empire. Wait, I'm not even sure. Okay,
I think Rogue One is his best.
All right. Then A New Hope, then Empire, then Jedi. So you get the whole original trilogy era. The rest are ranked how they were presented. I think.
Wait, were we supposed to put in like Solo and Rogue in this? I thought we were just doing like the saga.
We can put it in later. We'll do the saga. We'll do the 9 sagas first. Oh, by the way, everybody, joining me right now is Comic Quirks with Jimmy. He is another YouTuber. You should join him and subscribe to his channel as you subscribe to mine.
Appreciate it.
Yesterday or last week, we did a Marvel ranking, and that's 23 films. That went really long. This one shouldn't go that long.
That was an hour and a half long, dude.
So we're going to start with me. Let's do it like this way. I'll just rank mines. It'll take my 5 minutes or so, and then you rank yours, and then we get into the discourse. Everyone in the chat, rank yours also, all 9. Beginning with Mua. I started off with this abomination of a film, episode 8, The Trash Jedi.
So what I said before the stream.
What did I say? I said I have a bad feeling about this because he just told me he watched it, and I said those words.
Oh yeah.
They don't actually say I have a bad feeling about this in this film. It's the only one. It's like someone wasn't doing their homework.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of the time they did it.
Now the response to this from maybe even Rian Johnson himself. He's like, actually, in the beginning of the movie, BB-8 and Poe are speaking, and Poe tells him, "Happy beeps, BB-8," and that means that's when BB-8 said, "I have a bad feeling about this." First of all, that sounds like an excuse, and secondly, that's weak if you did that on purpose and you thought, "No, we're going to be different." That's because even Rogue One had it. Remember in Rogue One when K2SO, he was like, "I have a bad feeling," and they're like, "Shut up." So he only got
either Luke, Leia, or Solo who says it. So
in episode 8.
No. In the Skywalker saga, like the whole thing, it's either one of them. So why this time they would go, let's make a droid do it? That just makes no sense to me.
The story of The Last Jedi. The next film I got is Rise of Skywalker. This film is not something I terribly hate the way I do with episode 8, but after you kill the main villain, after you, kill Luke, after, with the untimely events of Carrie Fisher's passing. But the fact that, we kept Carrie Fisher in the movie, that decision was poor. And again, I'm going to blame Last Jedi for this, but if you knew that was going to happen and you had a whole year to work on The Last Jedi, you should have changed some things. That one scene where Luke fades away and his death in The Last Jedi didn't need to be there. We could have used him in Rise of Skywalker, but maybe he's not dead. I saw him catch a lightsaber in The Rise of Skywalker. I saw him raise an X-wing from the water in Rise of Skywalker, and you can't do that if you're dead because
this movie,
yeah,
is my last one. It is the worst one.
I knew this one would be maybe your second or last. Yeah.
This one, if I could use laxatives for the eyes, it would be on this movie.
Mm-hmm.
It was so bad. The whole movie just quip after quip after quip. It's like, did Brian Michael Bendis write this?
Hey, I like Brian Michael Bendis.
Oh, I think he's my comic god. But you have to admit he does quips like a lot. So I was like, a lot of it was just built around the premise of how do we throw in a joke. And if you think about it, The Force Awakens was actually pretty good. And then...
Yeah, it reminded me of another pretty good movie, New Hope, yeah.
So I thought it was pretty good. And then Rian Johnson comes on and goes, J.J. Abrams, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. You don't know what you're talking about. So let's just retcon some stuff you did over here, and I'll do some stuff over here. And then it was like Last Jedi was a completely different movie. And then Rise of Skywalker came.
and they changed Rey's parents, and they're like, we need a villain. Let's shit on episode 6 and make Luke sacrifice and what?
And then J.J. Abrams said, "Oh, you fucking hate me? Screw you, man. I'm gonna retcon after retcon after retcon, whatever you did." So, as an individual movie, Force Awakens was really good. I would have loved to see trilogy based around Force Awakens. Last Jedi, I enjoyed for the most part. I would like to see a trilogy based around The Last Jedi. But those three, as like all together, they don't work together. They're not a trilogy.
Preach to the choir, man. You're preaching. Rise of Skywalker was my number 8, and then the 7th to complete the trilogy is The Force Awakens. You said earlier that it was a good movie, and yes, I loved this film. It's the first time I saw a film in the theaters twice. 2015-ish. This was like going. Right. Yeah, this was great. I'm like, let me see this thing in 3D again. Let me see this thing. No, it was twice. It wasn't 3. Maybe it was 3 times. But this was a good movie at the time, and I loved all of the J.J. Abrams mystery boxes and what could come next. Rey and Finn looked like they were going to be an item, and I was intrigued on the Knights of Ren. Hey, what does Maz Kanata mean by a better story for another time? You know?
There was a lot of good things in this movie.
A whole lot of good things in this movie.
Okay, so real quick, before you do that for your list. So pretty much everything after, like starting now from Force Awakens up, like we're not shitting on it. We were just saying they're good movies. But this one just falls to this point.
What do you mean we? I think all 3 of these I'm thumbs down on. You can speak for yourself, though.
Really? I didn't know you hated it that much.
I did. I strongly dislike The Last Jedi and Rise of Skywalker, but like The Force Awakens, it was fine at the time. But since we got this thing and this thing, I can't give Force Awakens points anymore because it was good for what it set up. Who was Snoke? All that stuff. Since we didn't get any following through on it, I can't see this movie either. Like, I don't think I'm ever going to watch the sequel trilogies again, unfortunately. I want to go to...
I mean, I'm going to watch them again, but probably not Rise of Skywalker. That movie was just booty tickle.
That movie was J.J. Abrams saying, hey, he didn't do anything I wanted in episode 8. So I'm going to squeeze my whole episode 8 in here, and we got some room for episode 9.
Yeah. I'm happy he's off Star Wars. You know what? No matter what anyone says about his Star Wars, his Star Trek was a fucking masterpiece.
Okay.
Like if you watch the first one, setting up a whole universe, not just a new world of characters, like starting over or rebooting. No, he had to reset a whole universe starting from scratch. It was amazing. And the effects, everything was just on point.
Good for him, man. Good for him. Let me get in here and say Mike Porter, he's ranking his. Okay, he goes A New Hope, Return of the Jedi, and Empire Strikes Back, so the originals. Then Revenge of the Sith, then Phantom Menace, then Attack of the Clones. I guess you don't like sand. The Rise of Skywalker, Force Awakens, and The Last Jedi.
What? Okay. Why is the Rise of Skywalker ahead of Force Awakens? I mean, you have a good list. I'm guessing you probably, not to be rude, you're probably like a older gentleman. So I'm gonna guess that you probably grew up with the original trilogy, and then when you were later in life, watched the prequels. I'm sorry, and then to this shit.
I think people who value the original trilogy and rank like the first 3 like that fall under that category, where 1999 was a disappointment for them.
Yeah, I agree.
But I'm not them. So my number 6 is 1999, The Phantom Menace. There's a scene in here where they pod race, and every time I rewatch this film, I always skip the pod race scene. I don't feel there's any value in it. I'm not calling this movie bad, though. This is where I get into the good territory. Qui-Gon Jinn is amazing. His death is surprising. You don't expect the main character to die like that. Yoda's puppeteering, nah. Not a fan of that. But seeing Mace Windu introducing to the Jedi Council, the Jedi mind trick, we get a whole lot of good stuff in here. Even like Padme had her little plot twist where she's actually the queen. The beginning, Jar Jar Binks. I am not a hater of Jar Jar Binks. I think this guy is a diverse character.
Yeah, I don't get why people hate on Jar Jar that much, man. And they're like, a lot of people were like, well, with that, the movie could have been fine without him. No, he took him to the underwater city. That's a big moment.
He's muy importante.
I liked him. Like, what was it? So you had the Attack of the Clones, where we saw him for the first time again after we got. So obviously the Phantom Menace came out, and then the Attack of the Clones. Isn't that's the order, right?
Yeah.
Okay. You can tell how much I like the prequels. But we saw him again in the Attack of the Clones, and like a year after, everyone was like, "Oh, F Jar Jar, he's the worst character I've ever seen." And then the first time we see him in Attack of the Clones, he just looks into the camera, just smiles, and just keeps watching. It's great.
And you were right about that, Mike Porter. What's going on, Trinity? So what was I saying about Phantom Menace? I was done, right? Yeah. So Jar Jar's just amazing to me because he's different. You got a creator like George Lucas, and he goes, they're gonna speak a little bit differently. He's gonna walk differently. I'm gonna use CGI differently with Ahmed Best, and it was very creative. The way that they do Bruce Banner and Hulk with the tennis ball up there, similar to the Jar Jar Binks when he was on set.
Really?
So I give it so many points for creativity. Also, the hatred is that George Lucas copied Jamaican culture, and the ears of Jar Jar, like the Gungan ears, are supposed to be dreadlocks, and the voice sounded like it was patois. I disagree with that. I don't see that, but if it was
the first time I'm hearing about this, and if he did,
he said he didn't. He says no. He says it's ridiculous.
Oh, I know, but like, excuse me, if he did, and I mean, obviously he's gonna say no, but if he actually did, that's kind of a douchey thing to do. But if he didn't, then I think it's blowing up bigger than it should.
I like it. It's creative. Then we go to Return of the Jedi. Man, Ewoks is why. Let me see.
I got Return on the Wall. That's actually in a. Oh,
wait, I'm trying to make you the main focus. I can't do that. Sorry.
It's on my screen. It should be on my thumbnail picture on the bottom, the top left corner.
I was trying to enlarge it though.
Oh, whatever. Yeah. That's actually an original movie poster.
Return of the
my
Jedi.
father's, and was it my father's? Oh, whatever. And he got it when he was a kid, after like the movie was out of theaters and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then framed it.
Wasn't the original name Revenge of the Jedi Once Upon a Time?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so
then like 2 or 3 months before release, George Lucas was like, it's above a Jedi to seek out revenge. And so he did that. And that's why they named it Revenge of the Sith.
Oh. He sat on that idea for like 30 years and said,
yeah, I know.
With Return of the Jedi, yeah, Ewoks are bad. But man, let's not forget the lesson that Luke learned, man. He saw some good in his father, and he said, I am going to commit to this. When I got the chance to kill him, I'm going to drop my lightsaber. Luke, the hero story, amazing stuff by Luke Skywalker. Not so much on Han Solo. And what did Leia accomplish here? While she looked sexy in that snakeskin bikini, is correct. She wasn't as good as what we got from her in the first movie. Her first movie was the best, right? Of Leia. Maybe the second two.
No, I like this one. I like Return. The Return is my favorite.
Yeah, I guess she doesn't kiss her brother in this one, so yeah.
Oh yeah. And like George Lucas even said something about that. He was like, I knew they were brothers the whole time. You're like, no, if you knew they were brothers the whole time, you wouldn't have made them kiss unless you're a sick bitch. Come on.
Counting down, Ian, we got my number 4 film, The Empire Strikes Back. A lot of people have this as number 1. I loved it. Seeing the beginning of the film when Han Solo wanted to help out his buddy. They were complaining it's too cold. Yeah, my friend's in it. And he just leaves. That was very heroic of him. The way that they fought the AT-ATs was cool. Spider-Man took notes
And
of
that
how
was the
to.
first time we got to see the AT-ATs.
It was the first time we got to see the AT-ATs. Yeah. Vader, we kind of learned he's got a master over here. We're kind of happy he survived. Vader was very evil. There's the most iconic line.
That's actually a really good point too. Vader's he's a badass. That guy walks into a room, everyone just stops what they're doing because they have to make sure they're not doing anything stupid. This guy will kill you. This guy's a badass. So if he has a master, who the fuck is this guy?
See, it looked like in the first one that Tarkin had some sort of power over him. Mm-hmm. And if you guys watch Clone Wars, we get to see them actually meet each other and they kind of take a liking to each other. But there wasn't him. He was just getting admirals out of the way. Apology accepted, and you see a guy on the floor in the next scene and promotes another dude.
Clone Wars soon, because last time I saw it was years ago. Okay. Yeah, because I just got done with His Dark Materials. I think that was mine on accident. Okay. His Dark Materials, and I'm almost done with Doctor Who. And so once I'm done with that, I'm going to go to Clone Wars.
Empire Strikes Back. And then I go to my Attack of the Clones, which is pretty hated. They don't like sand. It's coarse, rough everywhere, and it's coarse, rough, irritating, and gets everywhere. I get it. He lives in a world where sand is just a fucking desert. And Naboo, you get sand on the beach, and you like the beach. So there's a difference between how Padme sees sand and how he sees sand. His voice was off, Hayden Christensen. However, it was consistent.
Emo Vader.
And like I said with Jar Jar Binks, give me something different. His voice, Hayden Christensen's voice, was just the same all the way through. And I kind of liked it. That's subjective. But as far as like plot stuff, man, we get to see the origins of the Death Star. We get to see Yoda. First time we get to see Yoda get busy. They even played the
that guy was a badass.
Yoda was amazing. Mike Porter's writing a lot of things in chat. Let me just respect you. I like The Rise. The best is the sequel trilogy. Wow, with all of his problems, I like the character development and set pieces. Okay, if we're giving it points for looking awesome, that's true. They wasted Luke.
I will respectfully disagree about the placement, but I have to agree wholeheartedly with the character development. I love the character development in that movie, especially. Well, I guess we'll get to that very soon with my list.
I thought it'd be like 5 minutes, but I'm not. We got XR Kuhn saying, really? I didn't know, huh? I forget what we were even talking about there. Hi, Ashley. Or Nikki. The AT-ATs. Oh, the AT-ATs. That's a good way to spell them. Hey, what's up? Hey, speaking of Doctor Who, did you rank TCW movie yet? What's TCW?
The Clone Wars.
Oh, not yet. Wait, what's the best like show of Star Wars? Mandalorian, Clone Wars, or
Rebels? Mandalorian, hands down. Although I haven't really fully watched Clone Wars, so give me time. Dude, that movie, Clone Wars turned me a lifelong Trekkie into a Star Wars junkie. Like I was until season finale of season 2 of Mandalorian. I was like, Star Trek better. Nothing can do. Nothing. You can't say anything. And then, well, I was wrong.
Waza LB. If you're just joining us, I was ranking Star Wars films. I got The Last Jedi, then Rise of Skywalker, then Force Awakens. That's the sequel trilogy, the Nyquil trilogy. Then we got Phantom Menace, Return of the Jedi, Empire Strikes Back. I like Attack of the Clones. And now my number 2 film is A New Hope. The way that it all began, Luke, C-3PO, R2, man, the way Leia was portrayed in here as this kick-ass, she was a beast. I loved her. I loved knowing what women's positions in film was at the time, 1977, and seeing her being what she is. I'm watching this film for the first time, and I'm much older, and it's years later, and she doesn't feel out of place or anything. A lot of bonus points for that.
That's why I think Return of the Jedi is a better movie for Leia. Because you look at her from A New Hope and then Empire to Return, she really stepped up in Return because the first 2 movies, she was not going to be dressing up as a bounty hunter sneaking into Jabba's hut. to go get a Han from a wall like that. That would not happen in the first two movies, but she had that growth, especially in Empire, that she was able to go like, I got balls, I'm gonna do it. Yeah, she was awesome.
She was. It's where we see Obi-Wan. Hello there. He says for the first time, I guess chronologically.
Mm-hmm. Fair enough.
Tatooine is in here. Jabba's here. We get a whole bunch of explanation of the universe as a whole, how light speed works, and the Force, baby. Like this gets so much points. And then Revenge of the Sith, another hello there, and the best movie, man. The fighting. I love the fighting of Obi-Wan versus Anakin, or Vader, I should say at that point. The lines afterwards. You are the chosen one. It was said you destroy the Sith, not join them. Bring balance to the Force, not leave it in darkness. I hate you. You are my brother,
Anakin. Is it number 2 or number 1?
This is my uno now. This is the top movie.
This is your number 1?
Revenge of the Sith. I watched the trailer. I've seen the trailer for this after I already saw the movie, and they gave away a whole lot in the trailer. I wasn't a fan of Star Wars in 2005. I probably became a fan maybe 5 years later or something, where I just watched them all. And I did watch them in order of Phantom Menace, Attack of the Clones, Revenge of the Sith, then the original trilogy, which I guess I wasn't supposed to do. But Revenge of the Sith was an awesome film, and that is my list right there.
That is a good list. That is actually set up good, although we disagree on 2 things.
Oh, I put Solo and Rogue One in the middle, by the way. And I haven't even seen the movie Solo. I just know it's better than the sequel trilogy.
Yeah, no.
Hey,
I fell asleep through that movie. That was so boring. Oh my god. Although the character was like cast perfectly. I mean, I'll give it that. It was cast perfectly.
Okay.
So my list.
Before you get into that, let's just fill in. Cap Comics, what's going on, sir? I wonder what you hummed at. Which film was it? Attack of the Clones when I said that? Let's see more of Boosh before Leia yeeted him. Boosh? Who's that?
Lightsaber. Boosh.
Oh. Wow, really?
I'm assuming.
Hello there. It's not, bro. I just don't remember what I was talking about earlier. This is not going to be a live stream where I check out the chat too often. But while we're talking, write down your top 9 films, starting from, however you want. TCW, movie about sequels. Great, excellent to most excellent list. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it is Star Wars and it's a fun and everything.
Well, it can only go down from here.
Oh, he's talking about the Leia comment in that bikini. Hey. Now it is your turn. Let me get this movie out of the way. Where do you want to begin with? Or what's your lowest?
Number 9.
What you got?
Rise of Skywalker.
Mm-hmm.
Although this movie was a garbage fire, I thought the ending, not the ending of the ending, I'm talking about the fight scene, the big climax, was really badass.
Oh.
Really badass. We got to see the Knights of Ren fight Kylo Ren, and I was like, okay, that's gonna be weird. No, it was badass. And the kiss, I was like, here's the thing about the sequels. It's not a Rey story. It's a Kylo Ren story.
Oh.
You got to see him transform from this roughly emo, but guy who hated his father and wanted to be his grandfather, Darth Vader, to being, I fucked up. I really messed up. I need to fix this and have to overcome this darkness and join the light while still playing on the darkness's side. It's weird, and it was really well put. And I really, really enjoyed Kylo Ren. Yeah, he was my favorite. He was my favorite character in all of this.
I think that retroactively we can say, looking back, it was kind of Kylo Ren's story. But like we established earlier in this conversation, it was a script by JJ, and then a script by Ryan, and then an original script by Colin Trevor. Oh, scratch that, JJ. So
that's what messed up the whole thing. Oh, and calling her Skywalker at the end, get off your high horse. Get off your high horse. Sorry, go ahead.
Finish.
She is not even on the same level as Leia. We'll just say Leia.
All we got was a flashback of Leia.
Yeah, I mean, well, okay, but if we're talking about also the prequels and not the prequels, the original trilogy, then she's still not even the same boost. Leia was a badass. Rey just went around running into things, not even thinking about it. Although in Force Awakens, I'll talk about it more.
I was going to ask you, at the end of the movie, it looked like Rey died. Ben resurrected her. He put his hand on her stomach, her belly. Women carry babies there. Is it possible that he impregnated her with the Force?
No, I didn't see. Wait, with the Force?
It's the sequel trilogy, man. Who knows?
Anything goes.
But you didn't think that? Because that's the kind of feelings I got.
I didn't think that at all. I just figured he put his hand on the belly because that's the place where he could spread out his whole hand to use as much power as he could or something like that. Whatever. I mean, it's weird. I didn't think that. And plus, he was also kissing her at the time. So he's not going to be like, hey, how you doing? Sort of thing.
Double penetration.
Okay.
Still would have preferred a Jace Solo story. Force Awakens is good.
That would have been cool.
Force Awakens trailer was amazing. Even the Last Jedi trailer was amazing because you were like, "What is Luke talking about? I don't know where this is going."
Oh, real quick on Rise of Skywalker, there was a good moment. I did like Baba Frick. He was so cute. I loved him, especially when he came at the end and we're like, "Oh, it's her!" And then he goes, "Hey!" You're like, "Yeah, that's cool." But also the moment where Rey is trying to stop the ships from going back to the Star Destroyer, and we find out she's a Palpatine. That moment was sick. Other than that, the movie was a wreck.
And that's what I mean by copying Empire Strikes Back. That was right about the halfway point of the film, so I think that was him squeezing in his "I am your father" moment, and that was JJ's Episode 8. And that's the way I feel.
That is actually a good point.
Adam Driver made you want a Ben Solo movie in a couple of minutes. I'll give that to Adam Driver and Ben Solo. Listen, this guy was wronged as a kid because of what Uncle Luke wanted to do to him.
Dude, okay, we do need a Kylo Ren movie. Or no, actually, I'm gonna push it in further. A Kylo Ren Disney Plus original series. I want to see as much as I can of Adam Driver. Like, I am in love with Adam Driver.
I'll take it. LB says 3 people having the script isn't the problem. It's the boss. Yeah, she approved of it. She doesn't know what trilogy means. So, yeah, I blame the boss. Aggressively is going to disagree with you, LB.
It is the boss, but it's also 3 people having the script.
Yeah, because of what the boss allowed.
Well, yeah, but I also think there only should have been one person, and JJ likes to hand off his stuff quite a bit.
Next film on your list is?
It is, let me look. I forgot. The Phantom Menace. This movie's a train wreck. This movie's bad. Why the hell do we need to see a 45-minute pod race? That's like watching the hour-long fight scene in Man of Steel. It wasn't needed. We didn't need that long. You know what would have been cool? 10 minutes. Max. We didn't need that. And why the hell is the galaxy so small that Luke had to create C-3PO? Why did he create Anakin? Anakin create C-3PO?
Because now when they say thank the maker, we know who he's talking about.
Exactly. That makes no sense.
It makes sense. It's just too coincidental.
True. There's two saving graces to this movie, and it is my boy Liam Neeson. You can put him in anything, and I will watch it. Oh,
Yeah.
I guess. Oh, and
No, I wasn't saying anything to you. I was trying to say, yeah, it did take too long, LB.
Oh,
I just didn't want to interrupt you. Go as long as you need.
So Liam Neeson and Darth Maul. But the fall of grace is you just fucking killed Darth Maul in the first movie.
Yeah.
I wanted to say, dude, imagine Revenge of the Sith, how badass that movie. We got to see Darth Maul return. That would be so badass, even more than it already was.
Right. Like if we got the story in Clone Wars, like season 5, 6, 7, if we would have got that in fucking the trilogy, that would have been good.
Yeah.
All right. Between Maul and Obi couldn't save this film. I agree with you.
Couldn't save the film? Yeah.
That's right, Heroes in. I got you. And then this is how I would rewatch Star Wars. Duel of the Fates, Battle of Geonosis, Clone Wars, the Clone Wars movie, the Clone Wars, Solo, what's Rogue One, original trilogy, Mandalorian, the sequel trailer. That's funny. I got you. Wow, we got a fan of the pod racing. And Ewan. Let's see here. You got Phantom Menace as your second worst movie. What ranks number 7 on this list?
Well, the following movie, Attack of the Clones. This movie was bad too. Why the hell was baby Vader emo? Also, how did he go from when he was young, in his 20s, being probably about 5'11", to 2 years later when he turns to Vader, 7 foot? I don't get that. Get an actor who's tall as hell. Oh my God, this movie was a wreck.
I can explain that if you've never thought of it. Remember how his limbs were all cut?
Yeah.
So in the suit, they added length to what his legs were.
Okay. I see it. But why?
He's more menacing. I don't know. Yeah, it's completely for show. It's to
he's like, it's fucking Vader. That's why. Oh my God, that's hilarious. Yeah, I mean, there's a couple things. I like Order 66. That also was a really good point. I don't know if any of you guys have read the comic books, but Order 66 came from this, right?
That was Revenge of the Sith.
Was it?
Yeah. Attack of the Clones, the second film. The Battle in Geonosis, where Jango Fett got killed.
That's right. You guys can tell how much I hate this movie because it's boring.
Damn.
It's been a while since I saw this movie. Yeah, that's what I got for that one.
And they cut out a few scenes in here. There was a politics scene where Padme was talking about how they tried to take her life, and she's like, if we answer to the Separatists with more war, you don't know what could happen. It can get worse. And she predicts the Clone Wars. They cut that scene out. They cut the scene out where Padme was back in Naboo. She goes home. You could see her mom, her dad, her brother, her sister, and her sister. And the sister goes, well, Anakin, Padme never brings boys over home. And she's like, no, he's not my boyfriend. He's just a Jedi. And like when she says that, he's just a friend and he's a Jedi, the face of Anakin was like, I just got friend zoned. And then
I can see that.
They cut it. What is your next film on your list? Number 6.
That hurts. Why the hell they cut that out?
Yeah, I would like to see that.
Okay. Well, my next one is The Last Jedi.
You got this ranked pretty highly because this is my final film.
From here on out, I like the movies. Just so people know. But this one falls to this one. Was number 4?
6?
Not 6.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like this movie. We had probably, before Mandalorian Season 2 finale, this is probably the most badass Luke moment we got. I want to say, I'm trying to think of other ones. I mean, besides other ones that don't include him getting his hand cut off. Yeah, this was awesome. Kylo Ren went full crazy in this, and we got to see like how dark he could get before he had to switch and go, I messed up. It was really good. And then we also got to see him learn. We got to see the backstory of Kylo. Last Jedi, best Star Wars film in history. You are so enthusiastic. We got to see like this backstory of Kylo Ren, which was actually really cool. I didn't know he was going to go full Anakin on the Jedi school, but he did. Yeah, this movie was good all the way around. And the pod scenes where they're going to war, and that was really cool. I didn't appreciate, although I like her character. I think she's strong and dope. The Asian, I can't remember her name.
Rose Tico.
Rose, thank you. I thought that was just thrown in there, and it wasn't built up, and so therefore it was careless, and therefore you didn't care enough to care about it and make us care about it. And I thought that was just thrown in there.
I agree with that because this was 2017, and this is about where I started noticing in film the whole checklist of we got to have woman representation, Asian representation, Black representation, and it does feel like this was we don't have any Asians in the film. Do it.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm fine with all that, and as long as you give us a reason to like the characters.
Right. That's where I'm going with that too. And to me, I feel like diversity in Earth logic doesn't make sense in a space film. If you want it to be diverse, give me some Wookiees. Give me what's Admiral Akbar's race? That thing. Give me them. Give me like instead of Admiral Holdo. It didn't work for me, and it feels like the whole representation checkbox thing got in the way of the film. And that's my opinion. They may disagree with that, and there's nothing I can say to prove that that's how that actually went. Where she was just
beat out Rise of Skywalker for story. I'll give it that.
Yeah, it had a story. That's true. Hey, it looked beautiful. Also, I like the scene when Rey sits down cross-legged, and Luke is saying, "Yo, listen, feel it out. What do you see?" She's like, "I can see the light," and it went and it saw like 4-leaf clovers growing, and I feel death. And you saw like a fossil in the dirt, and it looked kind of
dove into it.
It looked good, and that part was all right. It felt like this guy Rian Johnson knew what the Force was, and then the rest of the movie happened.
It felt like it was made by someone who cares, who actually did his research, and if he didn't do research, already knew this, which means he's a huge fan and grew up with it. I appreciated it a lot. In fact, like I told you, I rewatched it last night just to get a handle of what I was going to say. This movie probably goes up one slot in my list.
That's crazy.
That's pretty much it.
I want to say that he did his research, and Rian Johnson. Why Luke Skywalker, a character who helped out his family in Return of the Jedi, why did he make the decision he made on Ben Solo? Ben Solo wasn't even evil. He hadn't even blown up Alderaan or done anything like that. So why did he commit that act?
That is a good point. We don't really know that.
You must not watch like YouTube videos of people like dissecting the film, because that's what we all go to. It's like Luke wouldn't do that.
Well, I'm gonna be looking up those YouTube videos now because.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of great ones.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I got. My next film, though.
Yes.
I'm allowed to say. Is A New Hope. Star Wars, just the main title, Star Wars.
This is my number 2. You got this at number 5?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
It was good. It was fantastic. I love this movie a lot, but I don't think it's as good as the movies that are up next. There's so much to this movie. Yeah, we got to see. We got to see Tatooine for the first time. That iconic moment of the 2 planets. Oh man, this movie was a thrill.
Yeah, the 2 suns. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, 2 suns. Thank you. Did I say 2 planets? 2 suns. This movie was bonkers, dude. But I feel like this movie it was made by George Lucas not knowing if there was going to be another movie. So they kind of crammed in too much, if that makes sense.
I feel that Vader surviving at the end disputes that point. It's like I knew what I was doing and I needed to keep my villain around. Unlike episode 8, Jedi. Unlike episode 8 where they kill the villain and then, all right, episode 9, figure it out.
So I figured it was symbolic to like Vader lives. You know, darkness isn't always going to be gone throughout the whole world. Darkness lives too. So we still have the it was more like an idea thing. Like the light won today, but tomorrow there's still darkness. We got to fight that. It could have been like this. Obviously, it's definitely a setup, but I didn't think it was like a huge setup to the point where it was like, hey guys, we're getting a second movie.
Yeah, he kissed his sister. I don't think they were sisters and brother when it started.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, however, I think the word Darth Vader translates in German to evil father. So I think that part
Dark father.
Okay, yeah, so you know what I know, right? So I give it points for that.
Oh, yeah.
Give it points for the CGI redoing and trying to make Greedo shoot first. McClunky.
On shot first.
Facts. Does anyone dispute that here in the chat? No. Before we get to your number 4, let's take a break and read what Fenrir had to say. There should have been more alien Jedi like Ahsoka or Yoga VOG war.
Vogue.
What's the Vogue?
I don't know.
But yeah, I agree with you. There should have been more CGI if you're talking about sequel movies. Give me more Kyuzo. Don't know who that is. Yeah, we don't know what you're talking about here. Yuuzhan Vong. Oh, I think I know what you mean. Yeah. Yuuzhan Vong are like the threat from outside of the galaxy. You heard of them?
Mm-mm.
All right. I disagree with Ryan knowing anything. That movie was my childhood. New Hope. It was wonderful.
Yeah, man. 1977. It was good.
What you got as your number?
Copy of and rebranding of Star Trek, though. 11 years earlier, Star Trek came out in 1976.
It also copies Flash Gordon, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Your number 4 film.
Flash Gordon. Because it had like that weird anything could happen sort of thing.
Oh, Mike says he liked some Star Wars movies over others, but didn't hate any Star Wars movies. All right. Well, you're not like me and him, because Jimmy and I have our preferences.
Yeah, dude. Props to you for getting something out of it that we didn't. Good for you, man. Like I wish I had that moment. My next film is Revenge of the Sith, and you already had that up. Good job. Yeah, this movie was really good. I forgot about this movie until mostly about 6 months ago. I totally forgot about this movie because I watched the prequels when they came out, and I was like 6. I'm a little youngin'. And I watched them. I was like, okay, these are cool, and then like never watched them again until I was like a teenager, and then I was like, these movies were kind of crap. Never watched them again until recently. And then I was like, oh, Revenge of the Sith was badass. Now that I know like some of the mythos, like Star Wars, Revenge of the Sith was pretty badass. But everything else, like the first 2 were just garbage. Revenge of the Sith was done well. I felt like that was the movie they wanted to tell, but it seemed like the studio was like, no, we need 2 more movies.
Well, it wasn't the case because George Lucas had like so much hands-on control. But if that's the way it felt, then that's the way it felt
to me, man. I mean, like, good job, George Lucas, but that one. Yeah.
Between the Yoda Emperor fight and the other fight, Obi-Wan and Anakin, which one did you prefer?
Obi-Wan and Anakin, I do that. It was more sentimental, but Yoda should have won. By the way, Yoda should have won. He was the only in the Jedi Council. He is the only Grand Master at the time. He should have won.
If so powerful are you, why run? And then he just knocks out the 2 guards.
Yeah, Yoda should have definitely won. And I'm excited to see him in the High Republic. That book's coming out in like 2 days.
That's true.
I can't wait. I'm pre-ordering it.
The comic book, right?
That comes out in 3 days. I'm ordering the High Republic by Charles Soule, Light of the Jedi, the hardcover book.
Okay.
And then the comic book, The High Republic, written by Canton something. That is going to be coming out the following day, which is, I think it's a Wednesday. Yeah.
Naturally. New comic book day. Okay, the Yuuzhan Vong were a huge threat from outside the galaxy. They did 365 trillion victims around the galaxy and were immune to force powers. They were pretty dangerous.
I want to see that.
Yeah, that's probably what's next when you expand. Mike Porter, I love Revenge.
I think the next thing's going to be Heir to the Empire with Grand Admiral Thrawn.
Yeah, but doesn't he know about the Yuuzhan Vong? Isn't that like something he's conscious of? And I haven't read any of the...
I am just going through the prequel books. Right. I'm almost done with Heir to the Empire, so I haven't even started the next 2.
Because of all the lightsabers and perfectly bridged to New Hope. Till Rogue One came out. Yeah, Rogue One perfectly bridges to A New Hope. What is your 3rd film?
I think it is Empire Strikes Back. We got to figure out who fucking Darth Vader was, man. That was awesome. Oh, and when it's opening shot when they're on Hoth, that was outstanding. Oh my god, this movie was actually really badass. I can't explain to you why I love it so much. This movie is more about the feeling.
Can you explain to me how long Luke was on the Dagobah system?
Nope. Doesn't matter. Fucking loved it. Wait, he was training, wasn't he? He was there for like, oh wait, how long was he there for?
5 days.
That's all the time he needs.
It depends how long the other heroes were on Cloud City and just like waiting there as bait. Because I can imagine that they were there for like a good month.
Yeah, how long? I think Luke was there for probably about 6 months. I think that's wasn't that like the consensus people like kind of agree on?
Okay, then time works differently on Dagobah.
Oh yeah, and they didn't have like the storytelling capability of like cut scenes to show him training, cutscene to finish. No, it was more of a relaxed time.
Rocky came out, I think, a few years after this, so
it helped.
No training montage.
Yeah, this one is for me. It's more about the feeling I had when I first watched it. Yeah, this is great.
Did you know the twist that Vader was the father?
No, I didn't. When I first, no, I didn't.
That's awesome to experience that. There's a whole bunch of parents who watch it with their kids, and they're like, "Oh, it's the father," and try to recreate that moment.
Yeah, actually, I want to go on YouTube now and do like go down the rabbit hole of just seeing people figuring it out for the first time. Yeah,
on Disney Plus.
My second film. This is the biggest one we disagree in. The Force Awakens. I fucking love this movie. This movie is so good. It sets up a good universe before it gets shit on. This movie. Yeah. Okay. What?
I think it belittles the success that they accomplished in Episode 6 if you still have stormtroopers around. I think you could have just made a new threat instead of repeating it's stormtroopers and it's a Death Star. Sorry, go ahead.
Well, that's what it was. JJ wanted to replicate the feeling of watching Star Wars for the first time, like when he was a kid, for the new generation. It wanted to start that off. And I feel like he accomplished that perfectly. Perfectly. We meet Rey. She's a cool character. We don't know who she is. Right now, she's important. We don't know why. But yet, she's a nobody. We figure it out later. We meet Finn. This is the first time we see a stormtrooper go, yeah, I'm not down with this. I'm going to go over here. And he takes off. Finn is actually one of my favorite characters in the Star Wars mythos now. But it sucks because he's ruined because every freaking movie, he's just running around going, Ray! I want to see more about this character. I want to see a Star Wars Disney Plus show called Finn and Poe. That would be amazing. If you get Finn and Poe come back, just them, Ray can go over there.
Yeah.
They could have like a really cool like buddy cop sort of thing going on. That would be cool. And we meet Poe, the best pilot in the Republic. Actually, I think he's the best the pilot in the galaxy. That guy could go. Second Street Marvel agrees with me. Thank you very much. And it set up everything. We got to see Han Solo for the first time in 40 years. It was mind blowing. But I mean, this movie made every adult cry. They killed off Han, man. They killed off Han. And we got to see Leia. And she is actually now the general of the Republic. Fuck yeah, she is. I can believe that. JJ knew what he was doing with this movie. And then just had a brain aneurysm? Yeah, something like that, man. This movie was badass.
All right. Yeah, you know what? Rey had a nice theme. I like the Jedi steps when she was going to see Luke. Best cliffhanger, literally, of anything that's I've ever seen before. Holy shit, it's Luke Skywalker. I like BB-8, especially when he did the lighter to give a thumbs up to Finn.
Yeah, I thought that was great.
That was the best joke of all of Star Wars. That's even funnier than in Revenge of the Sith, when R2 is going crazy and he gets kicked by a droid. That was funny.
Oh man, yeah, that was great. Finn loved killing his own people. Ha. Well, yeah. I mean, I would love killing murderers as well.
I'd give it its points for being nostalgic.
Yeah.
Was that your number 2? Yes.
Yes, it was. My number 1 is on my wall. Return of the Jedi. Opening scene is outstanding. Who are you? Someone who loves you. And then everyone just freaks out. That was the first time we got to see Leia be a complete badass on her own. It was really good. It was really good. The Sarlacc pit scene was fan-freaking-tastic. You had Luke jumping off a weird diving board, pirate plank, catching a lightsaber, going to town, Han going to town. Killed Boba Fett, like, instantly, which I thought was bad. I mean, we got to see him now. Later on, we find out that set up the whole thing with Mandalorian because Jon Favreau knows what the hell he's talking about. Yeah. Yes, Return is my favorite movie.
Do you think the Sarlacc pit, if Costco Reeves was kicked into it, would she have made it out of the Sarlacc pit herself with all of her armor?
No. She's not Boba.
Well, Boba Fett made it out. He got a lot of scratches and long-term permanent damage.
Boba survives. He's the Bear Grylls of the Star Wars universe. He adapts, improvises, and overcomes.
Yeah, how did he defeat all of the acid inside the stomach and everything? Maybe he didn't go that far in. Yeah, he probably got caught in one of the teeth going down. See, and the thing with Sasha Banks' character is that she went into that mama court in episode 3 of Mandalorian, got the egg, or whatever it's called, took it straight out with her jetpack underwater in the elements of a beast, and I think she would have took that the Sarlacc
Nope.
pit. What else happened in this film that I liked? Yes, first time we got to see really a Jedi do his thing, but when it came to the end of the film, the fight choreography isn't where I wanted it to be. It was kind of just hacking and hacking compared to what we saw in freaking Anakin and Obi-Wan.
Sure, because he did train all last movie. Yeah, and also we got to see the death of Darth Vader, and we got to see him go to the light at the very end, and that was heartwarming. And the reason he did that was because he was a father, and that's powerful, dude.
And for someone like me who got to see prequels first, and episode 6 was the last of the 6 I've seen, when he unmasked, I saw like the Hayden Christensen Anakin that I've known, and I'm like, wow, this character I was rolling with for 6 movies, which for me was just one weekend when I watched all Star Wars. But like that guy from yesterday, it's him again, and he's blue. That was amazing, man. It was
that movie did that part when I was a child made me cry. Like seeing him and Luke, having Luke and Vader in a scene together, and it wasn't tension. This was the first scene where it just was not tension between them, and it was just forgiveness. It was heartwarming.
But how do you feel about the Ewoks? Because this was why the Return of the Jedi wasn't so high on my list. Did you like the Ewoks, or did it not hurt your enjoyment?
No, I liked them.
All right.
If the CGI of Luke Skywalker and Mandalorian doesn't hurt my opinion of that, these Ewoks are like not even close to the bottom. They're fine.
Fenrir goes, I can't see why people hate Sith so much. I mean, not all Sith are evil. I mean, like 90% are, but the rest can be good. I mean, sometimes I think Darth Maul could be a good teacher. Aren't they all evil? Isn't that the whole idea?
That's why they're a Sith.
Yeah, they think inwards.
Sith are like the higher end version. Like they're like the Yodas of the dark side. The Sith are the Luke Skywalkers of the dark side. They went up the ranks for a reason.
Mike says the Ewoks didn't seem ridiculous at the time. In conclusion, Star Wars is awesome. In conclusion, here's the list. Let me run it by one more time. This is Jimmy's list, where he's got freaking episode 9, and then Phantom Menace, and then he goes to Attack of the Clones, Last Jedi. I can't believe it's ranked this high. Then we got New Hope, Revenge of the Sith, Empire Strikes Back, Force Awakens, and Return of the Jedi. Mine's is a more traditional, a common list. Oh, by the way, we'll get to the video game later, but I got the sequel trilogies as the last 3. I said I was going to squeeze in Solo and Rogue One, and then I got episode 1, Phantom Menace, episode 6, Return of the Jedi, 5, Empire Strikes Back, then Attack of the Clones is my 3rd best. That's the bronze medal because I love the love between Padme and Anakin and everything. A New Hope.
That was the only saving grace of the movie.
What, Padme?
Yep.
Padme's a plus. And then Revenge of the Sith.
Anything, I'm going to watch it.
Where would I squeeze in Solo, and where would I squeeze in Rogue One? For you.
Oh, for me? Rogue One would probably be 4. Right underneath 3.
Rogue One. And where do you put Solo?
Okay, first off, I gotta say the reason of this, Rogue One started off rocky for me and then ended at a high note.
Yeah, me too.
Solo would be right above my number, so probably number 6. I thought that movie just was so boring. Oh wait, hold on, go down a little bit. I can't see on the screen.
Sorry.
Yeah, underneath Attack of the Clones, sorry. It'd be 7. Or 8, I guess.
Yeah. That is your list. Okay, best toy, I got lightsaber, and the best video game is The Force Unleashed. How do you feel about that?
Force Unleashed is definitely my favorite. I remember playing that the day it came out. That was so much fun.
Oh shit! I had your thing up the whole time. Sorry, Mike. Sorry. I had this thing and it was blocking. That's why you wanted me to scroll up. My mistake.
And toy.
Yeah, best toy.
My toy wasn't a toy, if that makes sense. Okay, backstory. My father's aunt, my great aunt.
She had a snakeskin cosplay?
She worked on the film, on the OG Star Wars film.
Whoa.
As a prop maker. So my father, as a child, when after the year after Star Wars came out as a child, for Christmas he got a prop of Darth Vader's helmet and a prop of, well, they had a lot, and a prop of a stormtrooper helmet, and he still has those. Are framed and everything. For me, I had a prop. It was silicon. Like hard silicon, not just the flimsy one. It was I'm trying to remember the blaster. It's just a blaster, just a stupid blaster. I can't remember.
The Darth Vader helmet wins. I mean,
but it was cool. But for me, I got a blaster prop that my dad gave me that he got too, and so that was it. But I never got to play with it. It was just framed.
No, it's actually the helmet that they used for Shockmaster in WCW. That reference went over somebody's head. Okay, let's
watch wrestling. Sorry.
Oh, at least you know what WCW is. It's not Women's Crush Wednesday. Let's wrap up with reading everyone's comments, and then if you want to chat in the Discord voice chat, we can do that also. And I'll put a link in at the end of this. But let's read everyone.
That long because I have, for you people who know, a lot of you, I know a couple of you, but I have my own channel. I do interviews with comic book pros and like pop culture people. And today I have an interview with John Suntress from Word Balloon. And he was one of the first pioneers in pop culture podcasts. So if you want to come to that, it's 3 p.m. Pacific Standard.
Which would mean in 3 hours from now, 3.5 hours.
3.5.
Adnan says, I don't hate the Ewoks, but others do. They say it was put in to sell toys. Yeah, it could have been Wookiees and Kashyyyk, which I think is right. Lucas said it was for other reasons, but I think it was for toys.
I feel like if they put in Wookiees, that would have just shrunk down the universe. I want to see more. I want to see more of the universe. That's why I'm a huge fan of Mandalorian. It shows everything. While
still honoring the past.
Yeah.
Could you imagine Luke time traveling to the era of Clone Wars around season 2 and meeting Anakin? Anything is possible with World Between Worlds. I wouldn't want it though. Yeah, we forgot you got Solo as number 1, huh? Okay.
What? Good for you. I'm happy you appreciated the movie, but wow.
I had a lightsaber toy that turned from blue to red.
What does that say about you, Mike?
You know what? It means he hasn't made his mind up. He's free-spirited. So if you like click it blue to red, would it be purple if you like switched really fast? You were Mace Windu before
that's how that works.
That is how it works. Yeah, when two colors like spin.
Yeah. But changing it back and forth, by the time you even think about moving your finger, the light's already gone.
Well, if you're a Jedi, you can do it really fast. So, who are you to doubt Mike Porter?
Damn right. Sorry.
DC 17A. What is he talking about? That's probably like a deep Star Wars cut. I got an old X-Wing toy on my shelf right now. So that would be your favorite? I guess sentimental value for that toy, yeah. Dude,
my dad has one of the coolest models of a wing. It's really cool. It's a B wing. It's like the vertical ones, and it has like one side wing. That one I love.
Mike Porter says, I bought some Marvel and DC toys last night. Never grow old. I'm a 57-year-old child. Right on.
Damn right, man.
I never said what list Solo is on. Okay, you got it on your number one of what? Of bad
It's a
movies?
solo list.
It's a solo list. Oh man. That's the last comment there. That's the blaster name. Oh, the blaster's name is. Oh, there we go. See, I knew it was something deep and knowledgeable. So the blaster is actually called DC-17A. Thank you, XR I will be in the Discord voice chat. Bye,
I'll
everyone.
hour.
All right, let's go 30 minutes in Discord, everybody. The link is there. Adios.